Hey everybody out there in YouTube land, this is factory rider Nick Valencia.
I'm Deacon Brown, factory Supercross.
We're gonna be out here today, we're working on Deegan's bike. He's got a little bit of a crunchy headset. We're gonna get in there after a long weekend of national racing. Sometimes that headset will get a little bit jammed up with a little sand, a little debris off the track. We're gonna try to get that cleaned up, get Deegan back on the track.
Hi, I'm Justin Perkins from Factory Supercross. Today we're introducing our California line of shirts. Something special about them is they're packed environmentally friendly. Each shirt that we sell cleans up a pound of plastic in the ocean. Head to supercrossbmx.com.
All right guys, so we're here. We're gonna go ahead and take apart this front end. Like always, we're gonna go ahead and start with these pinch bolts up here. 9 times out of 10, it's gonna be a 6mm Allen wrench. So Deegan, go ahead and start loosening those up. We went ahead and pre-loosened a bunch of this stuff just to make it go nice and smooth. So now we've got that top cap off there. We're gonna go ahead and pull those bars off. Slide this fork out. Now when you take things apart, a good tip always is go ahead and get everything, stack it to the side, just so that you know the order that everything goes in, okay? So for this, we're gonna go ahead and keep everything to the side here, try to get now. If you look in here, you'll see Deegan's got quite a bit of dirt here. We're gonna go ahead and take that off. So you see there, just after one weekend of racing, that's kind of what you'll get. You'll pick up a lot of sand, things like that will get lodged in there, and then that starts to get in the bearings. The bearings will start feeling crunchy. So we're gonna go ahead and wipe everything down, lube everything up, and we'll start to reinstall in just a sec. So as Deegan starts to clean these parts up, you'll notice that it's, again, when we talked about it before, anything that's gonna be metal on metal, you're gonna wanna go ahead and make sure that you get a little bit of grease on there, okay? So as he goes ahead and cleans that up, we're gonna go ahead and make sure we get plenty of lube on there. That way everything stays nice and smooth. You can be liberal with the lube, go ahead and put a little extra. We are gonna come back and clean it up. We're gonna go ahead and hand this rag back to Deegan. He's gonna go ahead. So on a lot of the Vision frames, you'll notice that that lower bearing will stay inside. That's totally fine, it's good, and the best part is it means it's nice and snug. So he's gonna go ahead and wipe down the face of that bearing, try to get everything, all that contamination, dirt, grit, sand, all those things out of there as much as he can. All right, that's good now. So again, contact point, metal on metal. So this metal race here is gonna touch that bottom bearing, so we wanna make sure that there's plenty of lube there. We'll get that in there, nice and snug, feels good. Now we'll go ahead and start to reassemble this, okay? So moms, dads, everybody, this is where things can get a little bit tricky. Again, metal's gonna go on metal. We're gonna go on and try to wipe that down as much as we can, get things nice and clean. After we clean, we're gonna go ahead and get it with a little bit of grease there. That's gonna keep things running nice and smooth. And again, you can put a little extra, not a big deal. Drop it right in there, snug it right up in the frame. Next one up is gonna be what I call the lock washer, okay? We're gonna go ahead and wipe that down. Same thing, no contamination. We'll get a little grease on that one as well. That one's gonna drop over the fork as well. It's technically called a top race or a lock race. You get it in there nice and snug and you'll start to see that that slop is already kind of starting to get alleviated. Go ahead, this is what's called a top cap. These come in a variety of different colors, so if you wanna go custom, do anything cool, you definitely can do that. As again, we'll go ahead, just a little bit of grease here and there because again, all that metal that's touching each other, we wanna make sure things aren't creaking. We'll get that on there, slide it down nice and snug, and now we are ready to go ahead. Everybody's got a different stack height of washers. Deegan runs one 5mm washer here, and then he's gonna go ahead and run his stem. So next up in the sequence is a stem there. We're gonna go ahead and drop that on. And then he's got 2 washers. Now the big thing about washers is your washers always need to be higher than your fork. So we'll go ahead and turn it sideways here so you can see. So Deegan could probably get by with 1. He does run 2 just to be sure. But essentially what happens is if you don't have enough washers, you won't be able to get the compression you need. So we're gonna go ahead and set a top one up there and then his top cap. We're gonna go ahead and spin this all the way tight here. We're gonna hand that wrench off to Deegan. This last one is gonna be as he tightens this one, it's gonna bring the compression on the fork all the way together, and then we'll worry about straightening it up. So go ahead and tighten that one, Deeg. And again, for you factory dads out there, you just wanna get it nice and snug, maybe a quarter turn pass. You don't have to overdo it. You see Deegan's already moved to those side bolts now. Once you get to those side bolts, we'll go ahead and pull it off, set it down, and then we'll get everything lined up nice and straight. All right guys, so we've got everything together. We've got that compression bolt up top nice and done up. So now what we're gonna do, last part, and this is where everybody's a little bit different, is straightening it out, okay? So Deegan, since he races this bike, it's his machine, he's gonna go ahead and straighten it out how he likes it. Once he gets the stem and the fork as straight as he likes it, he's just gonna go ahead and hit those 2 pinch bolts, and then we'll be ready to hit the track. Go ahead, Deegan, straighten it out. Now, a lot of times you'll notice you get on somebody else's bike and you'll be like, man, your bars feel crooked or something like that. It's one of those things, it's personal preference. Some people's will be a little bit to the right, some people will be a little bit to the left, some people's will be dead on. Pretty much you can get 10 people and everybody will say a little bit different. So it's however comfortable you are with your setup. Deegan looks like he's got it good to go there. So I think, what do you think, Deegan, we ready to go?
We're ready to ride.
All right, guys, so Deegan's got everything lined up there. We got the compression, we got things straightened out. For those of you that don't know, Deegan is just kind of starting to get where he's traveling by himself, things like that, going to races on his own. Deegan, how'd you feel doing your front end for the first time?
I felt good doing it for the first time. I started doing this like once or twice a year, just to make sure everything stays nice and loose and we're all ready to go.
All right, guys, so if you guys have any questions for Deegan, how his bike is set up, maybe what races he's going to, anything like that, go ahead and put them in the comments below. As always, like and subscribe. I'm gonna go ahead and go grab some lunch. Deegan's got a new nice ride ready to go, so he's probably gonna go do some riding, and we will see you guys at the track. No, you can run that one. Why wouldn't you? How's it going, sir?
Good, just checking in.
Yeah.
How's the calls going?
Trying to
Keep the lights on, as always.